I'm with Starfleet. We don't lie.
You sure about that?
Star Trek The Next Generation, The Wesley Crusher Problem. Now, I never really hated him.
I hate you!
But he was an easy target, the kid character on a TV show that I really wanted to take serious. And here he is running around in his rainbow jams, acting like a goofy puppy dog, who just so happens to be smarter than everyone else. So, yeah, in your face. I feel like I hated him more than I actually did back in the day, but I certainly didn't like him, and would have been happier had he gone off with the Traveler before the end of Season 1. And it wasn't the actor so much as the character. I thought Will Wheaton was good in The Curse, and Stand By Me. Looking back and rewatching TNG, I find him a little less intolerable, and hearing how he was treated rather poorly by Shatner,
Get a life!
I kind of feel bad for the kid. I don't know if people know this, maybe things have changed, but I don't want to call it hazing, but the old guard attitudes of treating the new guy like crap were something to deal with. It was real. The rookie treatment. I mean, not everything was the spit gauntlet as shown in Bad Boys, but it could be bad. Russian platoons have a designated uncle who picks out the whipping boy for the squad. That person often goes AWOL or self-ends their lifeline. Gangs often jump in the new recruit. So these types of breaking in rituals are not uncommon to human group dynamics. Weird that Wheaton would get a hard time when he was one of the main actors in an ensemble on a TV show. But it sucks to be on the receiving end of that treatment. I've endured it, and it kinda made me feel bad for him. Then I saw his current Trek show where he slathers all over New Trek.
Red alert!
Then I thought, maybe they weren't hard enough on the little
This is an intolerable situation.
This is the Wesley Crusher I dreaded on TNG, and he never really materialized, as bad or as much as he did on Ready Room. But I digress. Yeah, he was whiny, yeah, he was a kid, and I didn't care for that, and I didn't tune into my space adventure show to watch Dennis the Menace get upbraided by Captain Wilson every week.
He's a menace.
But that wasn't the worst thing. My main problem with Wesley Crusher is that he, particularly in the beginning, the character's presence undermines the central premise, or at least a core tenet of the show. Merit. Working your way up. Earning your place. Not having it handed to you, or taken away from you by the scions of the elite.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
What do you say I buy you a cup of coffee?
Me? I'd love one. You can buy me a cup of coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Link in the description. Wesley Crusher is the son of Dr. Beverly Crusher, the Starship Enterprise's resident health officer, ship surgeon. She has a history with the captain, as he was friends with her late husband. So he is technically a family friend to young Wesley. So Wesley has two high-ranking of the highest-ranking officers on the ship in his inner circle. And he's supposedly super smart.
How do you like them apples?
He studied the ship. He could pilot it himself, so he thinks. This all would be fine if maybe we see him 3 or 4 times a season, for 1 or 2 scenes when a story arc revolves around his mom. Maybe he factors into an episode, once a season. But that should be it. He's not Starfleet. He's not an officer. And he's obviously not had any formal training. And what does Picard do?
Tries out.
Lets him pilot the ship. Lets him take over the helm.
Absolutely,
This is a coveted position on the flagship of the fleet. I doubt it would even go to the top of the graduating class. You probably have to be really smart, have climbed the ladder to take over a bridge position, and actually have experience at that position from piloting other ships. But nope, meritocracy out the window. Having special parents grants you special privileges.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
This is antithetical to the world of Star Trek. And here, the offspring of the elite, the doctor's kid, the friend to the captain, gets to jump everybody in line. What kind of fly-by-night operation is this? America?
That's what I thought.
I'll keep it brief. We can't include every instance of nepotism or we'd be here all year. In the beginning, there was Farpoint, and for the pilot and second episode, Wesley didn't factor into my viewing of the show. He was background noise, like the Replicator or Data's cat. But everything changed in episode 4, Code of Honor, when Riker invited the little mopette to take over a bridge position. Episode 4 is often cited as one of the worst pieces of Star Trek ever made, and I agree. It's early on in the series run, and it's like breaking in a new pair of shoes. And Gene Roddenberry seemed to bring with him a lot of older Hollywood vets, production heads that got their start a long time ago and were still looking at TV through a lens of the 1960s. There was a subtle original series residue coating a lot of the show. And I love the original series.
Logical.
But for TNG to be its own thing, it was going to have to work through these growing pains. Tired old cliches, the music stings, some of which seemed lifted right out of the original series. Clunky pacing, blocking, and fight choreography. Many, when crucifying this particular episode on the altar of unforgivable Star Trek, point out the all-black guest cast and generic African-influenced wardrobe. But of course, it's silvery and shiny because it's in outer space. Speaking of cliches. But a big criticism is that the episode is racist. But borrowing from other cultures to guide a production team in designing a futuristic space-age, yet made-for-TV, alien race, a lot of science fiction, including Star Trek, has done that in the past. Whether Indian, North African, South American, even Vikings have had a go. My mother's side of the family is Irish.
Oh, Brian, is it? I should have known 'twould be a good Irishman who was running the ship.
And how many times have these shows used the Irish, or the idea of the Irish immigrants or Irish travelers, as a plot point? I get it decades ago, since they were culturally on the rise in the 1920s, but by the time Battlestar Galactica original series had them, I thought, enough is enough. Then Next Generation brings them back. Hundreds of years in the future, and these people are still using looms? And dressed like they're running from the Irish famine? Talk about hack. Dude, let it go.
Kiss me. I'm Irish.
But I get it. It's TV. They need to fill the 26-episode order. Some of the sci-fi shows are going to be set in the Old West town, or on an ice planet, or Troy loses her powers, or a couple of characters stuck in a bottle while everyone else has the week off. So the African-influenced wardrobe and production design didn't bother me. I kind of like the way they drew from cultures we didn't usually get to see on TV. However, there is a moment that did bother me. Counselor Troy mentions that she felt the feelings of the Ligonians, and that they all were sexually attracted to Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
Alright, time out. Someone in the writer's room or production staff should have pointed out, we're doing a show with an all-black guest cast, with an African-influenced theme, and we're really gonna play into the racial stereotype of the oversexed black man?
This is going to be a classic defeat.
You've literally never said that about any other alien race on the show. All the Space Brothers want a Vulcan nerve pinch those tribbles. But my other big problem with that episode is that this is the episode where Wesley is actually put in charge of one of the bridge positions. Thanks a lot, Riker.
You completed utter bastard!
Now he'll never leave. And he never did. I mean, until he went to the academy. But this is the episode where the Rubicon was crossed. And from that moment forward, the flagship had a slight appearance of being a ragtag group of misfits. Hey lady, why don't you take your kid to sickbay and have him perform some surgeries? If he can read about it, then he can do it, right? Oh no, not really, cause you need to have practice and learn to adjust for variables and unforeseen consequences and externalities. Can't just throw somebody into an operating room or an emergency room. I can read about how to fire a torpedo, it doesn't make me qualified to serve aboard a submarine. The Enterprise is the flagship of the fleet, not some garbage scowl or mail runner making pit stops between local systems. It needed to present the best and brightest Starfleet had to offer, not entertain the fancies of one of the elite's offspring. And I don't hold that against Will Wheaton, it's more against the writing and how they presented Wesley Crusher, at least in the beginning. Certainly when we see where New Trek boldly went.
This is so f***ing cool.
It is f***ing cool. You want to tell us what kind of storm we're flying into?
Now you get off my ass so we can get back to work. The would hit the fan.
I have a brand new appreciation for Wesley Crusher and the episodes that he factored in. Thanks for clicking in.
We got a report from the Bronx. Some small-time clique ran into them. The orphans.
They're not on our network.
They subscribe anyway.